Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Hopefully you're having a wonderful Monday, and we are back again with another Fanatics Weekly Review where I go through the top 100 soccer cards auctioned over on their platform. As always, if you enjoy these, do make sure to leave a like, helps me, helps the channel, all that fun stuff. But with that said, let's go ahead and hop on over here. So, starting this week at $103, we'll go ahead and just get moving here. We'll go a little quickly through first page and slow down as we go. I looked up a lot of stuff this week, so we'll have to talk about it. But starting here, we got a 2006 Mega Cracks Lionel Messi PSA 8 105. As you can see, I took a stab at it. I thought that was still a decent price at 105 there. Clearly, a 71 bis rookie has sort of gone off the rails. Second year, third year, fourth year, doesn't really feel like much of that's getting any love. Not that it necessarily needs to, but, just to say that, if you want those cards, they aren't really going anywhere, at least at the moment, so it could be a decent spot to be. That was still a fair price, though. 108 for this Lewandowski, non-rookie, but PWCC/Fanatics keeps listing it as rookie, so what are you going to do? Above it, Gold Vinny insert from Select, 110. We have a World Cup Scorers Club, Lionel Messi, PSA 10 for 110 as well. I thought this was fairly cheap, and out of 99, David Beckham from 2003 UD, Mini Playmakers. It says mini, but that seems like a full card to me. 112 there, pop 1 of 1, just one higher. Didn't seem crazy at all. Keeping it moving, a 39 Zany Monty here, PSA 1 for 117. Next to it you have this Yashin that I did take a stab at, along with this Rivera PSA 7. Both of which are from Cruyff rookie releases. The Palarex, a bit more eye appeal on it. Personally, I like the Yashin, so I took a stab at it, 117 there. Only 8 non-watchers on both of those, so fairly niche stuff there. Keeping it moving, some more niche stuff here. You got a red and green mosaic. This Coman rookie PSA 3 going for 126. I feel like 80s doesn't, there's not, at least from my perspective, there's not tons of 80s floating around in general. Maybe like Spain seems to be some of the most prominent, but Netherlands, Germany, you don't see a lot of stuff out of there in terms of Panini items. I guess, thinking about it, I'm sure Italy is, chock full of stuff. But beside that, generally the 80s isn't as easy as I guess you would think. 1998 Panini Super Football All-Stars R9 PSA 8 for 126. Looks like a fun one. Obviously got the foil. Decent grade. Pop 1 of 8. Pop 1 of 4 graded higher for the PSA 8. Black Label Tops Now Fernan Torres with Lamine Yamal. That goes for 126. I always warn about Black Labels on Tops Now. It's a lot more common on those Tops Now Panini instant releases because there's very little that can be wrong with them. 2008 Mega Cracks Lionel Messi PSA 7. Again, another one that hasn't been going anywhere too crazy. But this is a fan favorite in terms of Mega Cracks design. You have the orange on orange. It's an acetate card. It's definitely, a good bit different. But it's definitely a fan favorite as well. Hobby Master here. I'm going to guess this is a case hit. Kind of looks like one. PSA 10 goes for 132. Above it, an 87 France foot here for Eric Cantona, SGC 5 for 132. Next to it, you got a Mega Cracks PSA 9. Again, sort of an example where, it's a PSA 9, so I get that it's a higher grade, but I would definitely take the 2008 Mega Cracks and the 2006 Mega Cracks over it myself. But, of course, that's just me. I went way too high there. Way too high. All right, spoiler. 2004 Monday Chromo Zinedine Zidane PSA 10 going for 138. Doesn't strike me as a crazy price. Clearly Messi rookie year, so it has that going for it. Most people focus on the Mega Cracks rookie year set for other players. But a PSA 10 Monday Chromo Zidane is also pretty cool, at least in my opinion. You get him on Real Madrid as well. Tops Now, Lamine Yamal, another Black Label for 138. It seems like the super players, Frank Lampard has sort of taken over as his most expensive rookie for sure. As his other rookie, there was a huge find somewhere in Asia of a ton of boxes in a warehouse, so that value sort of tanked on his other rookie. This one seemingly taking the place. I did look up comps, and this one, last PSA 8 sold last year for 88. This PSA 7 goes for nearly 150, so that's almost like 100% gain once you, adjust for the grade and all that stuff. Probably a little more. 2022, Futera Peter Cech, 1 of 1 for 144. I did have a win here of a WC Athersmith PSA 6, now the oldest item in my collection in terms of soccer, probably in terms of anything, to be honest. This is a Pop 104, just one graded higher. I think there's 10 of these graded, so it's not like uncommon in decent condition. This is a cutout from a wider page. There's a couple different pages. Geo Smith and Billy Bassett are some of the other main names from the set as well. It was sort of a magazine that was released in a particular week in November in 1899. So not super common, but definitely gettable. And I was happy with that at 150, and sort of breaks my way into pre-World War I UK releases, which I have not dipped my toe until this point. Got a couple Gerd Mullers here, a Sicker Verlag PSA 3 rookie, and then you have a 1970 Palarex PSA 9, so, a little different there. This one's a bit more common, a bit more gettable, certainly in that grade. This one, not at all. I'm so frustrated by the Fanatics site. I literally, all I did was I'm not going to do it again, but I just highlighted this. I didn't even click on it, and it takes me in. It does it all the time. It does the same thing, like whenever you click on it, like right click or left click, it'll open two of them, which is so annoying. Nonetheless, I'll stop complaining. Both go for 150. Kind of cool. Take your pick of the two. Lamine Yamal, Blue Prism. I did look up comps on this. I think this is around an all-time high in terms of this card, this grade, all that good stuff. Back in March, it was like a $50 card. Beyond that, 2008 Monochrome Messi, PSA 9 for 162. You have a Top Football Ruud Gullit, PSA 5 for 162. I did look that one up. This is also not a rookie. This is second year, but again, Fanatics gonna Fanatics, I guess. Last PSA 5 did 112 last year, so that's up, about 50% over the last year or so. Pretty off-center as well. Might have gotten a little bit better of a price had it at least been somewhat centered, so that's decent. 1982 Maradona PSA 6 here goes for 162. You got a white circles Phil Foden out of 25. I don't feel like I've seen that too often. Goes for 168. Base Futera goes for 174 on Messi. PSA 10 certainly doing some work there, I would think. This 2018 Laser Kylian Mbappe for 174, which seemed like a decent price to me given, the multiples, and that would mean a 10's like $500. And I feel like I've seen numbered prisms from 2018 sort of dip close to 500 at times, so that doesn't seem bad. Erling Haaland auto 1 of 1 out of Leaf for 174. I mean, brutal stuff there. PSA 8 of Cristiano Ronaldo and teammate that I'm not familiar with, 174 there on a PSA 8. This row, definitely interesting. I was thinking of taking a stab at this Luka Modric. I think that's certainly the card of the row that I would pick. The other two, obviously, being Ronaldo and Messi, more prominent names, but certainly lesser cards. You got a Donruss Red out of 99, and then a Green Lava Ronaldo out of 99 from Topps Finest 2023. Luka Modric doesn't have any autos in Flawless, so I thought that was sort of the appeal there, even more so. People generally like the base cards and their parallels more than I do, but I respect it, and I probably would have taken a stab at this if I was more of a Modric guy. I'm just not, which to each their own. I respect it. But he's not like high on my list of who I want to collect personally. Gianni Rivera PSA 9 goes for 198, about a 10th year item, 9th year item for him, but certainly very high grade. You got a Beckenbauer PSA 2 for 200. That felt like a decent price, about 100 a grade for these. Definitely at times they dip lower. I thought this one had pretty good eye appeal. There's a little bit of a stain in the top left here, but the back looks good. The front looks pretty good. It's got decent color. I thought that was a really nice 2. Cole Palmer PSA 9 auto. PSA 9 card, but you have a Donruss auto. Above it, this one, I actually looked at this and I'm like, I might take the Lamine Yamal. I might do it. PSA 10 Topps Chrome Christian Pulisic from 2017 purple for 210. 2016 Donruss Hollow for 210 as well. Clearly here, you have a holographic rookie versus a purple Topps Chrome from a set people love. Clearly double the watchers on the Chrome. I'd probably take the Chrome between the two, but I've never been a huge fan of that Donruss release. Violet Speckle Refractor, Lamine Yamal, as we've talked about, out of 299. Electric Etch Messi out of 11. Definitely goes to show how little love Obsidian gets just in general, when a nearly out of 10 Messi can go for 234. Next to it in MLS, again, I'm just gonna assume case hit. I don't know. That goes for 240. That seems like a decent price, I would say. Bukayo Saka out of 23 from 2020 Prism PSA 9. That doesn't feel terrible to me, but I'm not too in touch with Bukayo Saka's market at the moment. He's clearly been a great player. Especially within a market that people enjoy and collect within soccer, so that seems pretty decent, at least to my eyes. And then finally, I thought this was interesting between the 2015 PSA 9 Mega Cracks Messi and the 2022 out of 299 Blue. Which one you'd rather have? Clearly much different products, much different eras of collecting in a way. Personally, I really love this card from 2015, and I really like the blue, so I'm sort of just going to go right down the middle and not pick one. So I'm going to cop out, but if you have an idea or would like to think about it, definitely would encourage you to do so. And then the Franco Baresi rookie PSA 7 for $252. This is up a good bit. I think I bought the bottom on this Franco Baresi. Generally speaking, I think I paid like $130 for a PSA 7. Granted, there's an eye appeal sticker here. I'm sure that's helping out, but yeah, definitely up a good bit. Those have been moving a bit. And I will start saying that more, that we've reached the bottom on many cards. I feel like it's certainly in. At this point, there's enough sort of context and growth and pricing, and we're so far removed from the bottom on a lot of cards that I feel like the bottom is behind us at this point. But, of course, you never know for sure, which is why I was always hesitant to say so. But at this point, it almost just feels like willfully ignorant to just not say it was the bottom. But nonetheless, Sicker Verlag Pele PSA 4 here for $276. I feel like I looked that up. I looked up this Messi. This was actually up a good bit. This PSA 9 that we just talked about. There were sales for anywhere from $60 to $150. But this goes for $250 on auction, which is super, super strong, man. So many cards right now are strong, and not only strong like maybe not record, could be record, if not relatively strong for sure. This Pele, not one of them. Well, actually it is, I think. This one was at $150 and $180 recently. This one goes for $276. So even Pele, a person that in the market has been beaten up pretty badly, this Pele is on its way up, which is interesting for sure. Sapphire Erling Haaland rookie PSA 10 goes for $276. I remember a day where these were 800 every day of the week, and then they were 500, and then they were 400, and now they're a little under 300, so they've sort of just kept taking steps back. This Cristiano Ronaldo, I think in my opinion, this is his first really nice-looking one at Real Madrid. Goes for $288 there. I like that a good bit. I think that price on it is also decent. In terms of comps, do I have any? I'm sure it's up, like most things. Yeah, you could have got it as low as $104 on eBay last year, which is nuts. And all-time high prices are $450 on a fixed price, but in terms of auctions, all-time high is like $350, $390, and this one's nearly $300 again. So, yeah, really strong price there. Above it, this David Beckham, I feel like we've seen this like 3 times now, but it could be different ones. I haven't cared too much to look into it, but I just want to make note of that. This Xavi looks like it ran pretty low. PSA 8 OC, near mint. The qualifiers, you always sort of subtract 2 grades, or at least that's what PSA does on their registry. So 312 here for what is theoretically a PSA 6. I've always talked about, we don't talk about it often because this just doesn't show up often, but it's one of my least favorite cards, or stickers ever, to be honest. It looks disgusting. This is a photoshopped head onto what is not Xavi's body, and so it just looks brutal. But it is the rarest Xavi rookie, so it's like, it's got 2 things clashing, and in terms of pricing, definitely pretty low. There was a PSA 3 in 2023 that went for $250. This PSA 6 equivalent goes for $312, which is crazy because one of these hasn't sold, at least from what I can tell, in almost 2 years. So, yeah, very interesting. Usually if something doesn't sell for 2 years, it's going to go crazy. That one did not. And, it could be a Xavi thing. It could just be how disgusting that sticker looks. Personally, I much prefer his black and red card from that year that is not as rare. It's still decently rare, but it looks a lot better than this. Next to it, you got this Figo rookie. This is, I think, also up a good bit. This one goes for $312 and a PSA 6. The last PSA 6 went for $186, and a PSA 5 before that for $125. SGC 6 before that for $180. So, again, another card that's up 30, 40, 50%. Doing pretty good. This Lamine Yamal, I feel like we saw this run recently, presumably went unpaid. This Di Stefano also ran a lot. Last PSA 6s went for 87, 96, 120, 150, 120, 120, 160. To get back to, what is this, 350, you got to go all the way back. Oh, my goodness. You got to go back to July of 2023, and even then, not all, well, a good bit of them were around 350. But there was a time where these were selling every single week, it felt like, and we certainly aren't there anymore. So I do understand sort of a bump up in pricing, but maybe not that much. Next to it, Gareth Bale PSA 9 Optic goes for $350. Feels super strong to me. I know the general soccer space loves Gareth Bale, and I think they like this set a decent bit as well, but $350 for a PSA 9 just seems super strong, but, to each their own, of course. I mean, I'd probably take it over most things in this row, I guess, if you gave me the chance. Messi rookie PSA 5, again, super strong sale. Just the floor of Messi rookies is so strong right now. There was a time during the bottom, again, as I'll call it, that PSA 8 sometimes hit 400. We start with the Messi PSA 5, number 62 from 2004 Mega Cracks in this row. 384 on that one, feels super strong. Again, as we'll call it now, during the bottom, you could get at times PSA 8s for around this price. Maybe closer to 450 to 500, but very close to this. And now you got PSA 5 selling for nearly 400. So super strong bottom at the moment from Messi, which I think is also just going to help his middle end stuff do even better. Now, how long that'll last, not sure, but it's lasting for now, for sure. Next to it, you got the multicolor Select Lamine Yamal for $384, along with a Color Blast Christian Pulisic at $408. This Levia Shin is a fan favorite in terms of vintage. Probably, one of the most iconic sort of caricatures that I can think of. You have this 1967 crack figuritas. I'm pretty sure it's out of Argentina. I say that not knowing exactly. I probably should have said that, but I'm gonna give it a shot anyways. But yeah, look at that image. It's so good. You got him as a spider essentially in front of a web, blocking 3 balls at once. It just gives you a perspective on what they thought of him during that era, and certainly one of the coolest within the set. In terms of pricing, also doing decent. Last sale was last month, and this one goes even higher on something that doesn't sell all that often. Typically, if something doesn't sell all that often, then sells twice in a month, you might see a little bit of a setback. Not here. This SGC 3 on fixed price did a lot higher, but if we go all the way back, these are all-time high prices for the PSA 3. The SGC 3 on a fixed price did a little higher, but again, fixed price is always going to garner more value, just harder to sell at those prices. PSA 10 KDB, hopefully this wasn't paid for as if it was a rookie, because it's not. Nearly 500 for this is super strong, I would say. Now, granted, it's a PSA 10, so maybe someone just hunting PSA 10, early KDBs, I'm unsure, but you don't see KDB stuff hit 500 that often. It's got to be good stuff, and just a UCL sticker doesn't strike me as all that crazy. But, yeah, maybe someone just really wanted it. You never know. I get really upset with the rookie listings on things that clearly aren't rookies, but as always, what are you going to do? 2020 Obsidian R9 patch auto for $500. Feels decently strong, considering, again, it's Obsidian, which no one really cares about, and it's a sticker auto, and I'm not even going to look, but I'm just going to assume it's not match worn. I would definitely take this 1994 rookie R9, El Mundo Deportivo PSA 5 for $516, which it's low, but they've been low. There was a load of them that sold last year. Feels like they've lightened up a lot, but the prices haven't really shot up yet, or I guess even crawled up at this point. You got a Pele PSA 9 2022 auto for $550. I always just think of Pele autos, man. Whenever people are buying these young guys autos and they're paying hundreds of dollars, it's like you can buy Pele autos right now in a Prism set for $500, and people are speculating on young guys for hundreds of dollars instead. To me, it just doesn't make any sense, but again, everyone's got their own preferences. 2018 Kylian Mbappe Donruss Gold Press Proof out of 75 PSA 10. Again, feels like a solid price here. Granted, PSA 10 I'm sure is helping, but $560 for a PSG kit Donruss 2018 feels pretty solid. Keeping it moving, this feels solid too. Gold Power doing a lot of work here. Gold Power Prism in particular. Out of 5, Timo Werner for nearly $600. You got a Black Gold Wave, Kylian Mbappe for $600 as well, along with PSA 10 Christian Pulisic out of 99, 2017 Topps Chrome, a fan favorite as always. I would take it over the Christian Pulisic Auto from VIP National 2018. Just because personally, national stuff just doesn't do it for me. I don't like the release style, but of course, again, that's just me. The card looks decent, but they always kind of look a little cheap to me for some reason or another. I don't know if it's the logos they add, or I don't know what it is. But 2018 Messi Blue PSA 10 for $660. I'd take that over anything we just looked at. The Timo Werner does look pretty good. The Gold Power looks good, but it's Timo Werner, come on. $660 here for PSA 10 Messi. Feels decent. I'd take it over this treble base, and that's not treble hate. I just think that there was a good price paid, probably because this is a PSA Pop 1 of 1, which, to some degree, I get it. But at the same time, like nearly $700, I'm pretty sure you can get these raw for, 100, 200 certainly, somewhere in that range. And, Yeah, I mean, they might be PSA 8s, I don't know, but 700 for a 9 just feels strong. In this row, this Kylian Mbappe purple breakaway seems like, again, a decent price. Now, I always say these are decent prices, but you gotta also account for they're PSA 10s, so they probably sell for a good multiple what they would actually sell for raw. So 810 there just seems like sort of a random parallel to me out of 35 purple breakaway. I can't add a whole lot here. I just don't watch women's soccer. If I did, I'd talk about it. 2004 Monday Chromo PSA 8. People are talking about this on Instagram as potentially the next Messi to run. Now that one of them ran, what's next? What's next, boys? Even though basically everything Messi is running, but this PSA 8 goes for 900, which is strong. We've seen these probably as low as like 500 to 600 at times, but they typically were around 700 to 800, so it's up a little bit. There's another one right above it for 960, a newer cert on that. I would definitely take those over a IP auto of Messi that's just on a base card randomly. That goes for nearly 1,000. That always, and again, that goes back to the Pele point, man. Like, Pele signed a lot too, don't get me wrong, but like Pele cards, Pele signatures on cards, not that, I mean, you can definitely find, I'm not going to say they're not easy, but to me, there's going to be always less and less and less of those than Messi autos, especially IP autos. I mean, they're just going to print those forever. Eden Hazard Gold Prism from 2018 World Cup goes for 1,050. He's definitely a cult hero for the Chelsea fans. Even though they won a Champions League when he was gone, they've never had sort of the same caliber of player, same caliber of star. This goes a little higher than the last one. They went for 780. And during the boom in 2022, it also went for like $1,000. So this is, I think, an all-time high price for him. Above it, this PSA 9 Lamine Yamal. I think this card's so crazy. This is one of the craziest priced cards I can ever remember, honestly. It reminds me of like the Tops Now cards of like, Eduardo Camavinga and, I can't remember, Yusufa Makuku and like that type of stuff. Now, obviously, those guys have fallen off. But I'm talking about like the caliber of card. Like, it's almost a nothing card in my mind. But people have built it up into this really legendary, quote-unquote, card or iconic card. I don't know. But I think the watchers kind of shows the point here. There's 21 watchers on this, which is the lowest, I'm pretty sure, on this entire page. This Kylian Mbappe out of 35 is actually the same, but again, I said that was sort of a random parallel and just felt a bit odd. But other than that, I mean, it's definitely the lowest. We're tied for the lowest on this page, and you'd have to imagine if he slips up at all as a player, I mean, that's just going to dwindle drastically. Next to it, Lionel Messi, PSA 9 Mega Cracks rookie. Team set, of course. This is number 89. I've always said that I think that this is really good looking, but the problem is with this, it just grades well. So there's lots of them in high grade, and I think that's what hurts the price here. So 1,100 here. We'll see two other ones from the team set that do a lot higher. Well, one that does more, one that does a lot higher. Artigolo PSA 9 Optic. For me, this is the card that comes to mind for him, which I'm just saying that because I'm someone that I'm not really in touch with his cards in general, but this card's always sort of been the card I think of when I think of his cards, so I'm just throwing it out there. So to me, an Optic Gold, if you're looking to get into them, that does seem like potentially the card. Keeping it moving, 2004, this is the green card from the team set. I take it personally over the white, at least in terms of the price and the grade. It's the same grade, but a lot harder to grade at that same level. You also get the eye appeal sticker if you care about the NBA stickers at all. Next to it, and this is, again, another example, like, would you rather have this PSA 9 base card, of which it wasn't even the first Mega Cracks card. This is like a later card, versus a gold Topps Chrome base. Both graded mint 9s. I mean, I'm taking the gold chrome every single day of the week, twice on Sunday, 3 times every other. You just take it all the time. And it's like, what, $300 more? I mean, are you kidding? This has got to be, in my opinion, and no financial advice, everyone do your own thing. I'm sure most people aren't even buying this anyways, but to me, that's got to be the most overrated card in the market right now. 1,100 on that's just crazy. When you can get this for $300 more, like, if I was a Lamine Yamal guy, which, I'm not, clearly, but if I was, I mean, come on, an extra $300 for the gold, and this got 90 watchers, this has got 20, come on. This Ousmane Dembele ran, and absolutely ran. I looked at the Lamine Yamal prices. This is down from the peak of like 15, 16, 1700. You never know if those are getting paid or not, so it's hard to say that that's necessarily the peak, but for some reason I have that tab open 3 times. The PSA 9 Ousmane Dembele, the last one that sold on Fanatics Weekly was in April, and that sold for $630. For some reason, there was a sale in March. That was the best offer that went for $1,500. So yeah, this one went really cheap at $630, and this one goes pretty strong at nearly $2,000 now. So I saw the seller in IG. I can't remember who it was, but congratulations to you. That was a pretty good move there. I think he was just coloring up into something bigger and better and wanted to get rid of some stuff, and that was definitely a good decision to sell that card. Probably the time too. I will add that. The Ballon d'Or winners during the hobby excitement for soccer haven't really done well, unless it's Messi, of course. But like Benzema and Rodri, I don't hear anyone talking about them anymore. Like Benzema gets no hobby love, and Rodri never got any hobby love in the first place, but still doesn't get much. So I don't think a Ballon d'Or necessarily puts you in the category. Like I don't think Ousmane Dembele winning a Ballon d'Or puts him in the same category as Lamine Yamal, Haaland, Mbappe, those guys. Because I think people think of it as a little bit of a fluke, and to be honest, it kind of is. I mean, his injury history before this, he was almost seen as like a failed prospect until this year the stars aligned for him. So if he continues, that's great, and he could eventually sort of break into that tier. But I think he has to do it consistently, because he really hasn't done it consistently, generally speaking. And if he gets injured again, I mean, that's going to leave him even more irrelevant than not being a Ballon d'Or winner would be anyway. So just throwing it out there. All to say, I'd be a little nervy buying Ousmane Dembele at the moment, unless you're getting something super cheap. PSA 9 here, this is the number 35 Mega Crash, goes for $2,300. Clearly a step up on the other two PSA 9s, almost double. Actually, it is double, a little over double the white. So just really making its mark there. And it's, I would say it's up there as one of my favorites. I think it looks really good. I think the green is the least aesthetically appealing, and the white would be pretty close to the blue in my opinion. I like them both. Nonetheless, this 1965 Franz Beckenbauer goes for $2,300. This sale made me just greatly regret not buying this $1,000 sale on eBay that went a couple months ago. I think I was the underbidder. If not, I was close, and I greatly regret not going a little higher after this sale. That was just really, really low, and yeah, I should have went higher. I also had this open. This is the all-time graph of that 35 Messi. As you can tell, it's sort of getting back to relative highs if you take out like the mania that was the first half of 2021, right? If you take out the mania that was the first half of 2021, all-time high prices around that are about $3,000. It's back to $2,300, so it's definitely up from the lows that we saw, the bottom, as I called it, or as, I didn't coin the term. I'm just saying that now we'll call it the bottom. During the bottom times, you could get this as low as like $1,200 to $1,500, and now it's looking at $23, so pretty good bump there. And, everyone's freaking out saying, oh, Messi cards are running so hot, this can't happen forever, but back when these were $2,000 to $3,000 consistently, I don't remember people being like, wow, these are so expensive, you should sell them. I just think that, and they're not that high a pop. I'm pretty sure I already closed it. I did. But like this is, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, like a pop 150 maybe, something like that. And, in soccer, we think of that and it's like, oh, that's a high pop. Not really, especially when you're Messi and you have cross-sport appeal and all. This Lamine Yamal is probably a pop like, I don't know. It's probably like a pop 200-300. I don't know. It's got to be up there, and it's certainly going to be a lot more. It's going to be pop thousands one day, and this is going for $1,100. So I think a Messi can do 23. I think that's fair, relatively speaking. But of course, as always, Lamine Yamal's hype now, but he won't be forever, unless he's the greatest player ever, forever. Maybe. This 2011 Portugal Panini De Oro Cristiano Ronaldo PSA 10 with Messi contesting him. Of course, this goes for $2,300. Looked at sales. And the only other sale was $2,300 somewhere in here. That was last month. I'm pretty sure at one point there was like a $6,000 sale. It just seemed preposterous, and we've never seen it since. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. Clearly, it didn't get paid, and it seems like people were just trying to. What I noticed was a PSA 10 allegedly sold for like $5,000 or $6,000 from what I remember. I think that was it. And then it seems like that person, or my assumption is whoever sort of fixed that sale and didn't pay, then offloaded a ton of 7s, 8s, and 9s with that comp out there. And then they come around and sell this at the end for whatever it sells for. But I think they were trying to push their lesser grades. So if you ever see high grade sales at a ridiculous price followed by a lot of low grade sales, just be weary, man. But just wanted to point that out. This Vava goes for $2,400, which is about what they've been at. I did get one about a month ago personally for $2,300, so this is about the same price. I thought the centering on this was a bit better. It's a little sort of diamond cut, but I thought the borders were short on this one. But after doing more research, I don't know. I would imagine it's just wonky cuts from the factory. Because, like, look at this one. This is the one I bought. And I like, it's off-center more so than the other one, but I like that the borders are big. But if you go and look at the rest of them, I mean, the borders are just kind of all different to some degree. It doesn't seem like they were very universally cut, and I'm just imagining it's like 50s Italy. You know, they're just making stickers. They don't, you know, like this one would be pretty short too if it was in the middle. I don't think there's anything nefarious going on here. I just think it's probably different cuts, different cards, all that type of stuff. Because if you go and look at this one, I mean, it's not like the edges look great. It's not like the corners look great. So, you know, I just wanted to at least mention it and just sort of think out loud as I looked at that. 1964 George Best PSA 6 for $3,000. I would like to think I looked this one up. I did. Okay, $3,000 here. Definitely a low sale compared to like 2022, 2023. It was really high then and it's come down a lot. Pre-boom, it was 500, 600 in 2019, 2018. Back in 2016, it was 150. So 500 pre-boom, 3,000 now, still a good boost. Granted, it's down a good bit, but you know, still up 5-6x from pre-boom on what is not a common sticker. I say sticker, it's more of a card, but it's not necessarily. It's like you're not seeing them all the time, but they are definitely gettable and attainable. I mean, English, cigarette cards aren't going to be all that hard. Beyond that, Kylian Mbappe, purple BGS 95 goes for $3,000. That felt like a decent price to me from the perspective of someone that's seen reds and blues sometimes around 1,000. You know, a 9.5 purple at $3 doesn't feel bad at all. Above it, you got your pick of the autos here. You can take a Lamine Yamal Topps Year of the Dragon sticker auto. You can have a PSA 10 Pele box topper from 2013 Alan Ginter, or you can have a Kylian Mbappe Eminence for $3,300, $3,200, and $3,200 here. Personally, again, I just always go with the Pele. I mean, you give me the option of a Pele auto, especially a nice-looking Pele auto. It is a little different. It's a box topper. It's numbered out of 40. I like the Pele. Then probably the Mbappe, and then the Year of the Dragon, Lamine Yamal. I mean, it does apparently have diamond eyes. I don't know if those are like real diamonds or what that is, but it definitely looks interesting for sure. In terms of comps, I think I looked up the Pele. There we go. This has sold before in a PSA 10 back in March of 2022 for $5,000, so it actually went down a good bit. Last PSA 9 and 10 sale was for $1,500 here. I think this is a 9 card 10 auto. It is. I might take that over this PSA 10. I'm pretty sure the auto looked a little. I don't know. Actually, this auto looks good. I can't remember what I'm thinking of in terms of the bad auto, but this looks pretty good. Feels like an okay price, but definitely not crazy. And I guess it comes down to what you think of Allen and Ginter. But maybe is this Mbappe auto that I thought was a little light. Yeah, if you go and look at it, I mean, just like the streak here isn't the best. It'd probably grade a 9 auto, but clearly Eminence is the higher end of all the products we're looking at here. And then top 3, you got 3 goats, three modern goats that are still playing. You got a Lamine Yamal unnumbered rookie auto, BGS 9.5 with a 10 auto. Then you have a Lionel Messi Topps Dynasty patch auto. And then you got a Kylian Mbappe gold kaboom. And the Lamine Yamal, as always, I don't have much to add. This Messi was sort of interesting because it's just like the most weird card to sort of think about because there's things going for it, there's things going against it. I mean, clearly it's Topps Dynasty, people like it. I guess we'll start with PSG kit, which isn't the people's favorite for sure when it comes to Messi. You also have the blue auto on a blue card, which, isn't great. The sun is definitely in my eyes at this point, so I'm looking pretty rough right now, but I'll fight through it. The auto also on this is pretty rough in terms of this L. I don't think it's like fake. It looks like he might have just messed it up. I'm unsure what happened there, but that's not the typical L you sort of see, and it's not the fake L you see, so I don't know what happened there. So the auto's rough. The blue on blue I don't like. the PSG kit also, but it is jersey number, which they didn't mention in the title. It's a 10 out of 10, so that's pretty nice. The patch is also nice. I'll give it that. And it's a PSA 9, which is pretty decent for a Topps Dynasty card. So it's got things going for it. It's got things going against it. I don't think it was like a crazy price in terms of Messi, patch auto, high-end stuff, 6,300. Definitely strong. From what I remember, it felt like most things were between like the 4 and 10K range. So this is within that range, but jersey numbers, well, I think it was decent. If you can get past the blue on blue on the kit and whatnot, PSG also. I don't know how much you care, but that leaves us with the final card of the auction block, and that's a gold kaboom Kylian Mbappe, which I did take a look at, and I just sorted by highest price for gold kabooms from 2024. Of course, you got Messi up here from anywhere from 35 to 50,000. I thought this was a steal of a deal. You got a Ronaldo here, number 7 out of 10. So jersey number 7 out of 10 for 19. I think that's the best deal I see up here, because beneath that you have Maradona, you have a Jude Bellingham, and then you got Kylian Mbappe. I definitely would take the Mbappe over the Jude for sure. I'd probably take it over the Maradona as well, because I'm not a post-playing career guy. The Haaland at 5K, I feel like, I'd probably take the Haaland at 5K over the Mbappe at, 12, but to each of their own. In terms of comps, I mean, we just looked at it. It's actually doing really well. The Kaboom Kylian Mbappe Gold, it started at 4.9. The next sale for PSA 9 was 76, and then this one's 12.6, so they just keep kind of moving up, which is definitely interesting to say the least. So that does it for this weekly. We'll take a small, quick peek at next weekly and see what we got over here. So we start with the 9.5 Messi Este in the 2004 rookie, of course. You have the Stadium Club Chrome, RIP to that product, not seeing that this year. We got an Estavio rookie out of 10. Beyond that, an Erling Haaland, Ronaldo 1 of 1. Which, there were days where people were going crazy for these 1 of 1 duels and triples. I wonder if that will continue here. I said Ronaldo. I thought that this was CR7 initially. This is R9, which is interesting. You got a Messi out of 10 black Topps Chrome Auto, a 71 bis and a PSA 5. And that looks like it's about it in terms of the, sort of crazier, bigger stuff. There was talk about this in the Vintage Discord, as always, linked down below, that this might be cut short. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Typically with these TTTs, you see some bit of another card on it, just because there's no border. So, like, it's super hard to have one that's cut directly in the perfect spot. And so to see one with the best centering we've ever seen with CGC, and just generally looks kind of short, I would do more research if you're interested in that one. But yeah, we got a Cyrillic, we got a Grail. It says unpeeled. I didn't know these had a peel, but yeah, what do I know? Anyways, that's going to do it for this weekly auction. As always, again, if you enjoyed, do make sure to leave a like. Would love to hear your thoughts down below on things you thought sold high, low, or anywhere in between. Maybe you snagged something. And if you want some more videos like this as soon as they go live, make sure to subscribe. But with that said, hopefully you have a wonderful day, and peace.